How you're doing, Ralph here, Ralfy Customs. Time for an end of week vlog. So, those of you that follow my exploits will know that at the beginning of the week I had the pleasure of finishing off this swing arm that I've made. Fucking brilliant. Well pleased with it. The one, there we go. Needs to clean up. I was waiting on a die because I had to shorten the wheel spindle. And it was 24 by 2mm thread. I've not got fuck all that big. But the die came yesterday and I did the deed. Put a little clip up of that. So the funky screen, bear with. Yeah, so the M24 by 2. M24 by 2 die has come to do this wheel spindle. Now I'm going to call it Heath Robinson. No sir, no. But I ain't got anything to hold a fucking die that big apart from the chuck on my lathe. So we've had a bit of an exploratory spin, really slow. The lathe is on 34 revolutions a minute, on the slowest speed it'll run at. And we're braced up and we're steadied, and all I'm doing is nudging it forward, taking the slack up with the steady, nice and easy. If anything's going to go tits up, it'll be this slipping in the chuck, but I think we'll be alright. There we go then. Scream if you want to go faster. Not much wrong with that. Whee! Just started to give a little bit of a whee towards the end there, don't it? Let's see what it's like. Backwards. No, that's alright. Yeah, we'll break that and we'll go again forward. We're nearly there. Only a few more millimetres, and there you go. That is fucking job done. Nice one, Cyril. We'll run that in reverse and we'll call it done. Absolutely spot on. Harry the Bastard's had a little bit of TLC. Look how shiny the bottom pipe is, look, the front pipe. It's the same paint, it's just not baked on. It goes dull over, well, it's just not very long really. It don't stay clean looking for very long, unfortunately. But he's had a quick points check, timing check, push rod clearance check. I've remade the rear exhaust bracket, just tucked it in a little bit so I can utilise the kickstart, not to start it because that's just fucking stupid. I can't do it. But for servicing, turning over and whatnot. So he's had a little bit of TLC this week, bless him. All's well. I've taken him out for a spin to bake on the paint and work the, these always fucking leak. One stud, you see how the exhaust paste has got warm and swelled up, look, and oozed out a bit. We'll scrape that off once it's baked on properly after a run, just to clean it up. But he's looking good. Dean's Triumph chopper. I was fully intending on getting this front wheel in with my Groover wheel adapter that I've made. What I've decided, It's not a wheel adapter, it's a disc adapter, disc rotor. Well, I've decided I'm going to remachine that a little bit. Having seen the one on this big red thing, which is somewhere over here. That is just a fucking dog's bollock. I was struck by the quality of that. Okay, so it's a different thing, a different application. Serves a similar purpose, but the one on the Triumph needs to be offset. So it's not going to look like that. Plus, I'm doing the fuck up. Here's a red one. Oh, lost his fucking legs. Monocycle, 2 litre. I reckon if you put a sled, if you're watching, Dean, well, I know you're watching, or Janie's watching if you're asleep. I'm sure she waits till then for those private viewings. If you put a sled under the fucker and some pullback bars, with that 2 litre lump in, you could do monocycle fucking racing with it, couldn't you? Hey, check that out. Graham's XR is destined for work later on in the month or maybe next month. He had a window of opportunity to get it to me, so there it sits. What I've got to fucking do, which I'm really excited about, is I've got to remanufacture parts of this cylinder head. I've got to do some brazing in the cast, and some machining, and some tapping, and some of this, that and the other in. So, wow, that's going to be a fucking nightmare. I mean, a lovely job to do. Thank you so much, G. Coming next week to a workshop near you. Back wheel, back end, front end, tank, seat, exhaust, front wheel. It's all going back together. Stay tuned for that. That is happening next week. Definitely. I've got some really trick little bits to make to finish off the mudguard mounts for our Barney. And Barney's missus, apparently, likes a view or two. So, lots of love to you, Mrs. Barney. And to Barney, of course. Goes without saying, bro. Goes without saying. We've treated. Remember the 3 knobs? Like a dog with 3 knobs. Yay! There you go. Yeah, not only that, we've had this on the shelf for a little while. My good friend Ada, lots of love. That's backwards and he knows what it means. Fuck off, Ada. Mr. Fox brought me some arbors, some B16 by MT2. I think that is MT3, not sure, 2 I think. Arbors. And I've been having trouble with my fucking MT2, look, here it is. With my existing chuck dropping off the fucking arbor. So I've treated this one to a new arbor and that one to my keyless chuck. I used it this morning with a hole saw. It's still hot, actually, it's still warm. With this 1-inch hole saw, that is the ultimate test. If it could fucking work on hole saw and not drop off or fuck up, then it's doing okay. And all I did was just to put an inch hole saw, focus, through a bit of inch tubing. So that'll sit kind of like that. And I can just TIG weld it. I want to try something. I'm going to use thicker rods and see how my TIG lies. Here's my bits and bobs. Arco, lots of love, brother. My bits and bobs. It's not the Oracle. It's my bits and bobs shelf. It's all steel stock and shit. There's a mattress cover there to drop down when the milling machine's in full tilt. It chucks chips all over my stock. Look, she's wet herself, and she keeps giving me a little witness mark. Leaves me a little love stain. Which is fine. You know, there's fucking loads of shit in there, loads of oil in there. Once it gets to be a major problem, I'll have to have the head off and have a look. But what I'm wanting to say was, you've all seen this before. We've got my aluminium, stainless, brass. These are odd bits of mild steel. These are all mild steel. That's the N8, which we use for spindles and spacers and things. This is odds and sods down the bottom. Look at that fucking big chunk of aluminium. And the remnants of the fire extinguisher, look, that I made this fucking oil tank out of. Check that out in me fucking, on my channel. Really enjoyed making that. What I'm fucking about, I-tensile threaded rod. I-tensile threaded rod. I mean, that was a fucking thing. This is the last bit of this chunky monkey stainless that I bought as a job lot of offcuts, which is what I do, look. It's how come I end up with an assortment. Really, I should be organised enough to work out what I need for a job and order it in when the job comes in, but I'm not. Oftentimes I have to do that because I've simply not got it. But I do like to carry a little bit of stock, a little bit of this and that. You can just drop on it. This fucker, I've been machining merrily away, and it started off a foot long, and now it's down to what, an inch and a half. You don't want to know how much it fucking costs. I had to buy a piece yesterday, a foot long, 30 fucking quid. So, hey, 300 mils, 30 quid. It's £1 a centimetre. Fucking hell, what's that all about? Who knew? Yeah, there you go. Surprised me, that's all. 30 quid for a fucking foot. Shit. Maybe I won't be so avant-garde with me making fucking space now, needs it? It's just what shit costs, don't it? You know, it's all expensive. What am I doing this morning, you ask? Well, yeah, we're back on the fucking rag thing. My brief is, I was riding along and the gear change fell apart. Something to do with the splines in either this section, that section, a bit in the middle, I don't fucking know. So, I'm going to strip that out. It's me calling it a rev check in the first video of the series. It's fucking S&S. I'll get them mixed up. There's another one as well. My mate, Kev Branston, lots of love. My brother from another. Grew up with him. Lifelong friends. He's got one, and I can't fucking remember what make that is, but it's not S&S or RevTech, and I always forget. And that's another big 2 litre fucking monster. This has got air suspension though, not like it's something special. How my voice goes quiet. It's got air suspension. So yeah, I mean, I've had a wiggle and a jiggle, and it feels fucking great. I wish my gearbox were that tight on the shovel head. The one on the Princess is just wonderful. I love that bike. Fucking gleaming. Anyway, so we're on with fucking stripping this dune. I'm going to take it apart, check it out, and fucking see what's what. Okay, so the only thing I've found, fucking focus, is there was a bit of shit in that gap. There's still a little bit there, look. Just a little bit of something. And signs of a little bit of corrosion in there. This was a bit rusted and marked, so I've given everything a proper clean. I've cleaned all the threads, I've cleaned the bush, got a fucking, it's well put together. You know, you've got this bush that runs in there, and then the shaft runs on in the bush, and so on and so forth. The only thing that you could do different, I guess, is, see the pinch bolts there, where you got pinch bolts that nip that up. You could have a relief this side, so a slot with a little hole. That'd make the whole thing easier, because you're squeezing up a fuck of a lot of material to make it tight. I don't really want to do that because it will damage the stove enamelling. The powder coating, it's not stove enamelling anymore. These days. I'll clean that bit of shit out, get the airline and blow it out. Or you could position it when you manufacture it so that the pinch bolt runs across the shaft. So you have a little cutout. You have a little cutout in the shaft, and that way, even if it came loose, it couldn't. The bolts would have to fall out for it to fall apart. Yeah, but it works as it is. You know, you have to get those last few little bits. I'll blow it out, then we'll get it together with some copper slips so it don't seize up, and should be good for our day. Should be golden, mate. Maybe these levers are used for more than one application, but as it sits with this, it goes on a spline, and then it's got this end cap, that goes into the end of the shaft. There's no need for this bolt, the pinch bolt that's not super effectual, because it can't fucking go anywhere because it's got a big end cap on it. If that comes off, I guess this could come off without the pinch bolt, but we're starting to get into things coming off, you know, as it stands. That's not going anywhere with or without a pinch bolt. Yeah, I thought about it as I'm building it back up. Why would you put a pinch bolt in there with this account? You don't need it. There you go. Really fucking tight on the splines as well, I've got to say, even with the clean out. So I don't see this going anywhere. So it's over to the old Harrison, Mr. Garrison. I said, would you like to? I'm going to turn this down based on the beautiful bit of CNC work that I saw on Dean's other bike. This one looks a bit fucking clumsy, so I don't really need to, but I figure I can. Remember, I pocketed these. I'm going to machine them off and maybe do some new pockets, just a bit of refinement on it. The keen-eyed among you will notice that I've left the disc on, and there's a good reason for that. I've never spun it up with the disc on, and I wanted to see how true it runs. You know, it won't get in the way of what I'm doing. It's bolted securely. It's going to be spinning like fuck when the bike's going down the road, isn't it, for God's sake? So, you know, it's not going to work. I'll just see if I'm in gear. Bear with. Yeah, that'll do it. And it was fucking true. Right, I'm thinking I can use this round nose tool. I just need to get it set to high. So I think I need material underneath it. I need a packer. Get me height gauge and see where I'm at. Yeah, I'm gonna need a packer because it needs to come up from there even. So I'll get this in and set up to height. Come on, you bastard. Alright, so just nip them up. I don't think this last one's going to catch it. Oh, it's just on the butt end. Right, so we can use a centre height gauge. There's a video on my channel showing how I made it. Well, not this one, I made one for the other lathe, but it's the same animal. And I can see that's a little bit high, but you can just feel it in there. A little bit, just a fraction. There you go, that'll do it me. So we'll nip that adjuster up. We'll nip that up. We'll have this spun round to give me a nice working angle. I think that's going to bloody well do it. So we should take it down a gear actually. Down to 480, which is there. Just reverse my feed. And we should be good to go. And work our way along, trimming that down. Look at these little beauties, look. Yeah, the interrupted cut where it's gone over the slot or the bolt holes. Great, it's like fucking little horseshoes of aluminium. Just wonderful. Can't beat a Friday breakfast with a few scrambled eggs, workshop style, seasoned lightly with fresh ground salt and pepper, because today is cheat day, so I can have what the fuck I like. So there you have it. There's an uninteresting shot of my fucking me table. Look, thanks for watching. Yeah, if you like what you see and you've not subscribed, please subscribe, hit the bell for notifications. Check out my friends in the description below. Have a great one and lots of love, everyone. See you.